What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Powerstroke Tech Talk Podcast. We are here live with DS Trucks and yours truly, PTT. Went through the comments of the last one, and everybody seemed to have so far liked this, and we're going to keep it rolling here, and we are going to continue talking about Powerstrokes, Super Duties, how they affect our lives, how we use them daily, what we're going to be doing with them, and what I'm going to be doing with them. I suggest you all grab this antenna for your Super Duty. I just got it this weekend, and I'm really digging it. I like the way it was constructed, and it's made in the USA, so that's even better. So just wanted to give them a shout out for not supplying it, but making a good product. I'm about making it in the USA, and yeah, the Super Duty engine not made in the USA, but the truck is. PTT has it. DS is live, rolling in it right now, buddy. What is up? How's that thing rolling for you?
It's running good, man. It's rolling down the road real nice. But hey, I didn't know that the podcast went up. Was that which podcast went up?
The first one when you were, we were, Matt, myself, you. It was a couple weeks ago when we filmed it. Remember?
I remember filming it, but did it actually go live yet?
Yeah, it went live Sunday, last Sunday, the 15th.
It went live last week. I didn't even know. I didn't even pay attention. So yeah, I got to look back. Well, I might have been busy that day, so I didn't even notice that it went live. I got to
Word.
look back at the comments.
Word.
No kidding.
Word.
Did anybody watch to the end when I was holding the McGuires and all that?
I don't know. I have to specifically the comments and see if anybody razzed you on that. I know it was long, but I know people can't
Yeah, it's
watch the videos, but
well, if I'd imagine a lot of people, if they listen to it for that long, they might have just been listening to it and not actually watching it, so they probably didn't see that part, visually see that part, just audio. But that was pretty funny. You sent me a couple pictures of that, and that was pretty silly. Me holding the McGuire's spray.
that
But
was
it's
funny.
interesting is I was doing a video, and that was a quick detailer from McGuire's, their ceramic coat. Whatever. It's not a real ceramic coat. That's like a permanent ceramic coat, just like a wax. And man, it did work good. It did work really good, and I was impressed with it. So it's just funny that it just happened to be laying in the back seat in the toolbox, and I grabbed it.
Which actually brings up a really good topic for cleaning. And I wanted to make a video when I first got my truck of just the regimen that I go through when I clean my vehicle. I mean, you guys can see my Tahoe that's sitting next to me here. It is one that falls in the category of it's going to take forever to clean, as well as the Super Duty. But I'm kind of over the new truck, so to speak. It is my daily driver, and it is black. It's a pain in the butt to keep clean. So, with that said, I think talking about how we clean our trucks and the products like DS is talking about the McGuire's, the ceramic spray on. What are you guys using? What are you guys? Has anybody did that? What's it called, Sean? Expel, X
Oh yeah, yeah.
Expel the coating that's like the clear bra that's on it. Do you guys run on that? I have seen a handful of platinums for sure with the pearl white 17s and 18s that have had it, and I was kind of contemplating it and getting it done with mine. but I don't know. I guess that would be up for discussion.
Well, it's a tough one because it's so expensive.
You know what we need to do? I'm gonna write that down as a note. We need to ask Workplay TV what he does with care for his truck being in the Great White North and how he uses it now. I know.
Well, I know that he uses that ceramic spray, and that's
Does
why I
he?
tried it out. Yeah,
Mm,
that's why I tried it out because he did a video showing like a long term where he could spray the car off. He could spray his truck off, and it would the water would still bead. And then I get this truck, and it's like first week having it, it's dirty, and I gotta wash it, and then go through the whole process. And
I know.
this truck's not going through a car wash, so
Hell
it's a
no.
so using that ceramic spray, it's like it's gonna save a lot of money because between washes you're just spraying it off. So I don't know how many
Yeah.
times you can do that. And I didn't get the real version. I got like the detailer. I didn't get the actual. I got the quick detailer versus their actual ceramic nanotechnology wax,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they call it.
I
So
know
I
what you're
think that
talking
would
about.
that would that would definitely make a difference. But it's super quick to put on, and at the end of the day, it does save time because you don't have to wash quite as much.
I am using kind of the same thing, different brand, and I'm sure you guys have heard of it called the Chemical Guys. I have used their quick detailer and their soap for a foam cannon through the power washer, and during the summer that's what I used. I had never took it through a car wash. I am currently now, because the weather's changing and obviously we can't use the power washer. um, but I was very skeptical in the very beginning about using a car wash because I'd like to do it myself. But I kind of bit the bullet and am going through the car wash, and it's working out all right. I've dried it off each time, and I haven't seen anything so far wrong with it. But I mean, like DS, like where are you going to take this dually through? I mean, just going through the quarter car wash, which I still would take mine through. Um, I hate using other people's brush because you don't know what they were using, but nonetheless, can't be driving around in a dirty duty. But
Yeah, and well, one thing I noticed is like even with the quarter car wash, you can get a really shady quarter car wash that doesn't take care of their equipment. They don't have good brushes. They put the cheaper brushes on their
hmm
car washes, and they put cheap chemicals in their
yeah,
system.
some bullshit soap.
Yeah, they put, and I know, and the first time I washed my 450, I went to the closest one, and I'm scrubbing the truck, and then I realized like this isn't even really soap coming out of the brush. It's like really cheap soap, so it has no film to it. It's just like just white instead of having like the trifoam soaps would be like multiple colors and whatever. It's just like this white, thin, low lubricity soap coming out of it because they just for whatever reason use barely any product to save money, I would imagine.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it's like I have to go a little bit further out just to get a good one, a good car wash, or else I'm not gonna get even a good coin car wash. But as far as the brush is concerned, having silver paint's a big benefit, but I spray that brush out real good before anything. I know it's not perfect. I mean, it does help that the soap's oozing out of it and then pushing material away from it, but still not gonna be perfect.
The day you got your windows tinted and you came to my work, big shout out to Bill Brown, Livonia, Michigan. Make sure to check us out online at billbrownford.com, um, and visit our fleet center so you can come see me, get your Super Duty scheduled, just like Sean did. And I tell you what, when he pulled out the shop, rolling out with that dually coming through that shop door, I mean, that thing looked pretty damn sweet. That grill, I mean, them 450 grills, like if you had a 350 and a 450 coming at you, you're gonna know that boy's a 450. I mean, the grill, just I don't know, them 450s are unique, especially when a pickup truck, because it doesn't have a wrecker body on the back, and it doesn't have ambulance box on the back. You see, it's got a pickup bed. You know, it's got to be, at least a lariat trim level. Well, you'd hope, but that thing looks sweet. You got a sweet truck, brother.
Well, the XLTs are pretty sweet. You'd be blown
Yeah,
away by how good an XLT.
we got this one at
But
work.
it wouldn't.
They,
But the XLT, you can't get the LED lights on an XLT.
we got this one at
And
work
that
just as a stock unit, and it's a 2450 black, and I have two. This is the second one. I've never been in a 450 that has had a suede headliner. I mean, a Super Duty have a suede headliner. It was, I mean, okay, so you got XLT seats, and then you got my Larry Ultimate leather seats, and then you sit in a platinum or a limited or even maybe a King. Well, King Ranch probably not, but these seats, even the quality of the leather, the steering wheel, man, I definitely like to upgrade uh, to a better leather steering wheel. And
yeah,
I mean, even Sean was talking about getting a heated steering wheel because neither of us have a heated steering wheel, and if we got that, that would actually be a really good. I mean, it'd be kind of expensive, but it would be a really
that's the
good
that's the problem.
thing to do. I've been thinking about getting forescan, and that's something I want to write down too because I really want to check that out as an alternative to be using IDS or FDRS. And like, would you guys want us to see us put a steering wheel, a heated steering wheel on our Super Duties? I think it would be. I know somebody's doing it with an F-150. I heard somebody doing that, and the icon popped up on the infotainment screen, and the functionality of the heated steering wheel was like it was, from the factory. So I think that would be a really, really sweet modification to your Super Duty if you were looking for that, OE, you know, feature. Like, I installed the dually light, um, on the back of my truck. So, damn, that would be pretty sweet, man.
That'd be
Heated
cool. One
steering
thing,
wheel.
one issue that with that is how much the steering wheels cost.
I know.
Brand new. I think you were saying over $3,000 or
Well,
something. But
that steering wheel had the adaptive steering. So if we got the heated steering wheel, well, you're not
how
gonna.
cool? How cool would it be? Like if you could not. It's probably not possible, but if you could take the heated part and put it with the adaptive, because I have adaptive steering, and I don't want to spend that much for a heated steering wheel just to have adaptive steering as well.
Well, I guess you'd have to look in the parts catalog because if you get a steering wheel, if you guys look, I'll put a link to that video, heated steering wheel I did on a 17, and you guys can actually see the motor is all one assembly. And if you could get just the wheel and not get the motor, sometimes, I mean, that
Well,
might be a good,
is it possible, like once you got the wheel off, is it possible to get that steering wheel part off of the motor part, or
you mean like break down the steering wheel more?
yeah,
I'm Yeah, I would assume I would have to see the steering wheel in front of me, and
like just the leather part of it off with the element?
yeah, but that's like all embedded in the actual like part where you put your hands. Like you're not gonna like unravel it or like take that portion
Right,
out.
right. So that like the center part doesn't come off of the outer part.
The center part guts might, and then that you could transfer that maybe to your other steering wheel. Maybe I don't know. It's all hypothetical. It's
We'd have to see it
yeah.
off of the vehicle.
Damn, I love Michigan roads, right?
I know it's rough, and
Ah.
I got these HD tires. One thing to look into though with that steering wheel is any cross possibilities with the F-150s, being that they have the same interiors.
Hmm.
Would they be similar? Would they be the same part number, a different part number? But the reason that would be useful is, as expensive as these steering wheels are, would it be possible to find one used in
Damn, I
good
wonder how much that
condition?
is. Steering
It
wheel. Hold on.
might be more plentiful in the form of an F-150 versus a heavy duty truck. And it might be the case that Ford has the same steering wheels because they have the same instrument panel and everything else is the same. So it could be that short of maybe the adaptive steering motors might be different, but F-150s also come with optional adaptive steering. It might be more affordable or whatever to find a used 150 that got totaled somewhere and switch that over. versus going with a brand new Ford part, which could be over $3,000.
Have any of you guys did that? Have you guys put a heated steering wheel on a truck that did not come with heated steering wheel? Let us know in the comment section because that would be a good video for one, and just to find out more info on doing that. That would
One
be
thing, one thing that I need to
that'd
do
be
is
cool.
get a good power inverter. Like this factory power inverter has really let me down. Like charging my computer, I was rendering a video the other day, and one good trick if you render videos is to use your cooled seats to cool down the computer while it's rendering. But the issue I
Oh,
was having is I'm rendering out a video and I'm driving home, computer sitting on the passenger seat, and like the inverter keeps cutting on and off, and it's not enough juice to keep the computer charged constantly.
now where you got it plugged in to right here in the front dash, or do you got it plugged in the center console in the back?
I had it plugged into the center console on the back.
Hmm.
So I don't know what difference that would make, but it just seems like sometimes it will have no issues charging up my computer, but then other times maybe it's warmer in the truck or maybe it's whatever, and it won't have enough juice to charge it. Now it does say 400 watts,
I know.
but
I
I
was just
think
gonna say that.
I think that might be 400 watts max, but not continuous. I'm not
Mm,
sure, because usually when you see an inverter and they have the advertised wattage, that's the max, not the continuous. And I think that might be what the max is, which is not really. I'm not all that impressed. It's good for like cell phones. It's not pure wave, whatever. It's not pure. What do they call it? Pure sine wave. It's not the
mm,
pure wave. It can't
I
charge all
understand.
your batteries. It can only charge your like. It will charge rigid. It won't charge Milwaukee. I haven't tried every battery, so it won't charge Milwaukee. It will charge a rigid.
I have charged my M18 half-inch battery. I had to drive to the father-in-law's, and one of my batteries was half capacity, so I plugged the charger into the back one and charged it while I was driving. I didn't have a problem.
So I
I
gotta check.
wonder.
I gotta check this truck. My last couple trucks didn't charge Milwaukee batteries. I haven't checked this truck specifically yet, and maybe something might be different. But the last few, and even my 19 Super Duty won't charge the Milwaukee's either the slow chargers or rapid chargers or any of them. But it might be that maybe this one will. I don't know. But it's only worked for rigid, and I
Look
haven't
at
tried every brand, but just Milwaukee and rigid.
look at them upfitter switches. We need to hook something up to them.
Well,
We should do your high idle.
yeah,
It's
we should do that.
easy. It's gonna be you definitely can. I use it if it's gonna be cold, obviously now this time of year, I just hit the parking brake just a tiny bit, not mashing it down. Just hit it so the light goes on. Flip that switch.
What
Oh,
light?
so the brake light comes on. If you just barely touch the emergency brake, the brake light will come on. It's just looking. The PCM just looks for an input, so that it knows the parking brake's on, and then you flip your switch.
So you
You know,
need to have the parking brake. You need to have your brake light on at least to
yeah,
get the high idle to
yeah,
work.
correct.
Oh, okay.
It's just
My
a
truck, my truck already high idles though when it's cold.
Yeah, it's something the PCM does if the engine oil temps,
Yeah, I
below.
noticed that the other day. Like I got in and it
Yeah.
was like already high idling. I
Yeah,
was
it
like,
only does it to like 900 or like 10
oh, okay.
50. But if you
And
add
it and as soon as I touched the brake, it
hmm
stopped. Like
yeah,
it
and it
stopped
won't
cold.
go back into high idle until it has been sitting
No, it won't.
for another given amount of
Yeah.
time with no inputs, from you, where you can command it yourself. Switch on, parking brake on, and
Well, I really want one of those headache racks. A nice headache rack with lights.
no, that would be sweet. That would be
Those
sweet.
those Spider Industry headache
hmm
racks that can match. They can do like a pretty close silver that matches the paint, or like something that looks like it's painted silver. It looks stainless steel, or maybe even be stainless steel.
That would be pretty cool though, because didn't you want to? weren't you saying you wanted to get a beacon? Remember you were saying you wanted to get a beacon on the
Yeah,
top of that thing?
I want to put a beacon on top, and that's perfect for that. But those things cost like $1,000.
Let's let's
So
look that up. What
I saw it on Instagram, Spider Industries,
Spider Industries, okay.
headache racks. They got some sweet ones, and it can do like your own logo, like your logo can be embedded. Now that probably costs a fortune, but um, you can get so many different designs that they offer.
Wow.
That would be sweet. I
That's
don't
pretty
know if
sweet.
you would like that because yours is very personal. Your
It's
truck's
got an
very personal.
American flag. It looks like $850, $800. They're
That
pretty
ain't cheap,
sweet.
but it's a big safety thing. Is you don't want nothing to
Yeah.
come through your back window. Like the things you put in your bed are very dangerous. If you ever get in an accident with something in your bed, it can potentially come through your glass, come into the cab, which is not good.
Yeah,
So
even if
you
you're
put a
loading
snow blower
stuff.
or the salt spreaders back there, and then somehow, God forbid, it comes loose, and you hit a pile of snow, and that thing comes slamming into the cab. It might total your truck, but if you got a headache rack or someone sitting in the back seat, and that spreader comes sliding forward, which is it's not likely, but anything's possible. That thing comes sliding forward and hits someone in the back of the head. That ain't good. So
Okay, okay. I'm looking at their looks like they're out of Washington. Um Pacific time,
Ameri-
obviously.
American made.
Yeah, so I'm looking at right now, 100%. Yeah, free shipping on orders over 199 bucks. That would be something to really get a hold of them, man, and maybe, tell them, what you're using your truck for. And obviously, I even think, what does Workplay have? He's got one on here, doesn't he?
I
Not
don't know.
a back rack maybe, but I don't think he's got a
On
spider
one
rack.
of, I think on one of his trucks he has one.
Oh, maybe I'm
I
thinking
don't
of
know if
the
he has one
550 or
on.
something he's got.
I think he's got one on his like older Super Duty that he does some work with, but I don't know if he has one on his
I'll have to
newer
check them
Platinum.
out.
Yeah. Would you? What do you think? Would you get one?
I like that you can get different finishes on them, which, I mean,
It's
interests
kind
me
of,
more.
it's controversial because like it's very work truckish.
Mm-hmm. It really
Whereas like
is. But see, I like how
yeah,
they have the cutout though for the slider window, so you're not looking at the honeycomb the whole time.
yeah,
You had to, no, I mean, not that you're going to put something through the window, but I mean, it's got a spot for the LED third brake light, so you can see it. I mean, I wouldn't really get spider web. I'm not really into deer. All that's
I
really
kind of
left
like. I
is
don't. I don't mind their spider one. The
angled
deer.
louvers.
I
Looks kind
like
of
the deer
cool.
one, but it's. I like the deer one, but I think it would be like, who is that guy driving that truck with like deer?
Combo
And there's a
price.
guy. There's a guy shooting the deer. Like,
Yeah, but no, I ain't into that. Made in America. You won't find any mass-produced import junk here. Each and every one of our headache racks is built to order and handcrafted right here in the USA. That's all
yeah, I
I'm
like
talking
that.
about, man.
I probably would get the
USA.
honey. I probably would go with the honeycomb.
What are you guys rocking? You guys rocking that stuff?
Yeah,
Pretty
they
cool.
got some. There's some companies that make some cheap made in China ones, like back rack. I think they call it. I don't know if it's made in China. Don't quote me. It might not be made in China, but
I don't know if it is or not.
it's a very simple design, which ain't bad.
Nah.
But this truck that I
Nah.
have, silver with a stainless steel colored, or I don't know if it's stainless steel or painted silver, but that will look really good on this truck. Granted, if it starts rusting, oh, not cool. If the
Remember
paint
we were just
starts,
talking about that, about getting undercoated? Or at least not rust proofing, but I mean, I think you should at least get it sprayed.
what is it? Is it oily? Is it like
Not at all. And I remember when I first was talking about it, when I did my release video, guys were blowing me up in the comments. Oh, you shouldn't have undercoated it. You gotta watch South Main Auto's video. It's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
destroying. I'm like, ugh. Like
I saw his video. I saw South Main Auto
if you guys
video.
see, I went to a place called Z-Bart. They did a fantastic job. and I think when I got underneath it, it was more than what I expected. They did a really really nice job with going up. Um, just up around the frame and got everything. I just like, man, I didn't think these guys were actually going to be going all out as much as they did. I did not get the rust proofing, so they didn't, go into the bottom of my doors. My buddy Mark, who drove it from Ohio, who had me turn on his OCR. If you guys remember that OCR 2020 video, he had that stuff installed in his truck, and you could see it, in the doors and in the tailgate and whatnot. But um, they did it's like a really really nice rubberized, not rubberized. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a rubberized undercoating, but it's not rubber. It's not tacky. It's, how do I describe it? It's like tar almost. Now that it's dried, and I mean, I kind of dig the smell. It was kind of cool for the few months I could smell it, but um it's not attracting dirt and sand, because I've seen some, you ever seen them trucks with like the fluid film, and it's just all greased over, just, oh man.
Well, I'm sure you've worked on those trucks.
Just there's one customer that had it, but I don't get too many of them with
I
that.
do. I've done fluid film the last few years, but I never really
Nasty.
undercoated the whole vehicle or nothing. I just went in like the areas you could see and kind of done it right before. But it gets washed off, in my opinion. Like as soon as you
Power
use the
wash goes on.
vehicle, I mean, you got to power wash the vehicle still, so it does get washed off when you power wash it. You're still gonna wash it, right?
Right.
You can't just fluid film it, and you don't, once it gets all grimy and salty, you have to like, you can't assume that that stuff's still there. It might be, but for me it's like I'm gonna still spray it off. I gotta spray that stuff off, so it always ends up getting washed off. But it's messy. I like the Z
Nasty.
Bart. I like the idea of Z Bart just because it keeps everything looking black.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is the vehicle going to rust out? Probably not in my time with it,
If
because I've got a 19. I've been plowing with it and salting with it. It's not rusting.
if we didn't live in the Rust Belt, then I guess that's my reason for justifying why I'm getting it. My Tahoe, I've never rust proofed. It's never been fluid filmed. I don't drive it in the winter. Uh, that's not rusting underneath. My daily driver, something that's going to be right up in the salt, right up in the muck, I think it would be advantageous for me to do such a thing with the trucks that I see come in and being a few years old, and the corrosion and the accelerated wear that I see them, because these aren't pavement queens that I am working on. They're being worked. They are work trucks, and I mean, it's shit's clapped out. So I mean, I just spent some good coin on this truck. He just spent some good coin on this truck, and I mean, for $350, I think it is well worth the protection of my investment. And um, you know, for one, then when I sell the truck, I mean, I'm sure I'll get another one. It's gonna be G. Dude's gonna be like, "Oh man, thanks for undercoating, man. Thing's not even rusted." Yeah, I know.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna do it with a truck right from the rip. Don't do it to a truck that's been on the road for the last 11 years and looks like a POS, and then think that you're going to go undercoat it and everything's just going to be,
Well,
that's not how it works.
that's a good chance of that's a good chance that's what happened with that South Main Auto video, where you have these old vehicles. They're
Like, that
really
does,
old vehicles, and what happens is they
what the
probably
hell?
undercoated it with some kind of a undercoating to cover up a issue so they could sell the vehicle, and then it turns into do not undercoat your vehicle
I know.
ever. And maybe that's not the case. Maybe it's just
And like, I
someone.
remember in the video, like, he was flaking it away, and I'm like, there's, dude, there's no way, bro.
Yeah,
There's no
no.
way. There's no way. If
So
any,
these dealerships, when they get these trade-ins, they're covered in rust. and then they do that to them so they could sell them and they look good when they're sitting on a lot. So
I don't know if the
it's just
dealers would do that. I mean, I could see
oh,
somebody.
100, not like a big Ford dealer, but these B lots,
Ooh,
100%. They spray the frames to make them look black.
yeah, I could see
They
that.
just, I mean, dude, when I was looking for Old Green when I was shopping,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, they did it to Old Green, so I
Oh, did
definitely.
they?
Oh, the whole bottom half of the truck was like rubberized, like the
Oh, I
door.
just thought of something because I looked at your Insta cluster. I thought, I'm sorry for interrupting you. Today, I had my exhaust brake on,
Uh huh.
shut it off, went into the store, came back out. My exhaust brake was still on.
Yeah.
Dude, it's never done that. And I was just talking to you about it. And you're like, oh, yeah, no, I shut my truck off and it's still on. Is your guys' exhaust brake staying on after you shut the key off and you go and then come back and it's on still? Every time I've done it, the thing shuts off and I have to hit the button again. But I mean, it doesn't matter. I just,
Maybe it's learning.
sorry, you can proceed now.
Oh, what was I saying?
About the undercoat and
Yeah, I think with South Main it was. Oh, Oak Green was like that. Like they undercoated the doors. Like I should have never bought it because they sprayed. Oak Green's my old green F-150. It had like 220,000 miles, but they sprayed the doors, the outside of the doors, with like rubberized
the outside
paint.
of the doors.
Yeah, the outside lower quarters of the doors were all sprayed with this rubberized black coating, undercoating. It was almost like maybe bed liner, like a real, very, very cheap bed liner.
Cheap,
Not even
cheap,
a
cheap,
decent enough bed liner.
cheap,
But
cheap.
after having the truck for like 6, 7 months, the rust started continuing underneath the paint, and it was like rotting underneath that coating. So, you go to these used car lots and just look around. They're covering up. A lot of them are covering up rust with black paint. They'll paint the bottom half of the panels black, or they'll paint the frame black. They'll cover it up with
Yeah,
black paint. I've seen it.
yeah, I could see that. I mean, there's
A
a
big
lot of
Ford
shady.
dealer probably not, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't
See,
see
like the
them.
big Ford, a big Ford dealer that sells used vehicles, when they get those vehicles, they just try to get rid of them. A lot of times they just try to get rid of them, and
Take
they'll
them
list
to
them for.
the auction or something.
They'll auction them, but if the, a lot of times they'll list them for really cheap too. They'll list them for like $900, but they'll trade that vehicle in for like $500. So they just get rid of it. I mean, like your 230,000 mile small passenger car. They're just gonna flip the car. They're not gonna try to make a ton extra money. Whereas they make a lot of money on their trade-ins. Their other trade-ins, like you bring a 30,000 mile pickup in, they're gonna give you like 12 grand and try to turn around and sell it for 18.
Oof.
So
This used truck market right now is hot. I mean, like popping, scooping
is
them
it,
up. Yeah, like I mean, my buddy at work was looking at trucks and like I couldn't believe the prices that they're asking for these things. Like,
dude? My
holy,
exhaust filter just said full.
what do you mean?
It just became full. The
What's
exhaust
it
filter.
say?
It says exhaust filter full.
No shit. And then what's it say to do?
Nothing. It doesn't say. Shall I pull over?
Yeah, pull over, see what it says. Like go pull over to I don't know where you are, but like go find like a parking lot or something.
I'm on the west side of Detroit.
Hell yeah.
I'm in the slums. I'm in a
Dang.
rough neighborhood, guys. There's leaves. Should I start a regen? There's a pile of dry leaves.
Hell yeah. Okay. Now you put that thing in park. What's it gonna tell you?
It's not saying anything. It just says,
Put
oh, it says press and hold OK to clean.
Yeah. Do it.
Right here?
Yeah, just do it. You can abort it and
Oh, okay, okay. So exhaust, what side is the exhaust on?
back right.
Okay, so there's nothing over there.
Regenin.
Okay, exhaust in a safe. Exhaust position safe,
Uh
relatively safe. I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Press and hold.
Yeah.
I don't really know if it's safe or not.
There it goes.
It's doing. Yeah, it's safe. I'm looking right in the mirror. It's safe.
Oh
Nothing
yeah.
there.
Ain't nothing there.
So we're at about 1,500 RPM.
Fan's gonna come on.
Cleaning exhaust.
No kidding. He's doing his first OCR, boys. Freaking A right, bud.
So what I've read is it's better to clean your exhaust this way because it is very steady. It keeps the engine speed very steady,
Mm.
and it burns off everything very consistently versus driving where it's up and down, up and down, up and
I
down, or you might stop and it has to start the cycle over. So
I will second that because I have a lot of good success getting the filter all the way to zero every time doing a static regen, which is what you're doing right now. And comparing to a dynamic regen, which is where you go and drive the truck, it may take a couple times for that to actually
so you're talking about
get it clean.
when you're actually measuring the filter, not just a cluster, but say you have IDS or
Yeah,
FDR.
yeah. If I'm doing IDS and I'm doing an
So when I
manual
run it, if
regen,
I run it and it doesn't get all the way clean, will it just say zero on the dash just to say that?
eventually, but right now it's gonna
So
clean the
far,
way.
so far, it's been able to get back down to zero, just even for a dynamic regen. But I guess like later in the vehicle's life, it won't get to zero from a dynamic regen if the filter's not healthy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can see that. The I don't want to say it loses its efficiency over time. I mean, it kind of does, because I mean, you clean it out, it gets fuller. Clean it out, it gets fuller, and it winds up. I mean, it still cleans it out, but ooh, that boy loud. Yeah, fan just blaring.
Yeah, I'm just double checking to make sure there's nothing under here.
Yeah, go walk out there. Your phone's still connected. Go walk around the truck. Make sure everything's clear. Oh yeah,
Yeah. How cool is this? My phone's connected. Can you
I
guys
can
see
hear.
me?
Oh yeah, that looks awesome. That's great. That's awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is pretty sweet.
That's
Pretty
awesome.
pretty cool setup. Then I got
Live
my
with
headset.
DS Trucks doing a live regen here on the podcast. What perfect time to clean your DPF and make sure that your filter capacity is where it needs to be. Remember, come and see your dealer or make the trek out to the D to see PTT, and I will turn your OCR on and get you rolling just like this guy. DS Trucks, flipping it around. Look at that. Look at this truck.
Yeah, this is the first operator regen, operator command regen. Is that what
I
they
can
call it?
smell it. I can smell it right now.
Dude, I can smell it too.
I can smell it.
Pretty
That's
slick,
freaking
huh?
awesome. That's freaking awesome. We need to take that competitor's license plate frame off and get you the right license plate frame on there.
What do you think about the truck, everybody who's watching? Pretty cool, huh?
Tell us who else is rocking a 450. What color you guys got? He's rocking that iconic silver, which is pretty sweet. I do like that star white. That star white's pretty bad.
So one thing, it's not telling me the percentage, like how it
Um,
does when you're driving. It's like it starts going down.
yeah, I don't well, I don't know. Go to the display. Can you go show us the cluster? Can you like cycle through um maintenance monitor? Let's check this out. Cleaning exhaust filter. Okay, can you go down to the next bubble?
Oh,
Ah,
it stopped.
okay, go back to it.
It stopped when I did that.
Okay, go back to the exhaust filter.
It
There you
still
go.
says
There you
full,
go. Yep.
safe position, and it picked back up.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so I guess you can't even leave the screen then. That's That's weird. That 19 ambulance, it actually it let you back out, and I remember it was displaying 55 when I was doing it.
So yeah, one of the things is this truck for me is a lot more expensive to idle to stay warm. I'm coming out of a 3.5 EcoBoost, and I essentially could take my 2.7, my wife's 2.7 EcoBoost whenever I needed to, and I would do all my business in my truck, but I could stay warm, and it wasn't a big deal to idle the truck. Whereas I'm in this truck, I don't want to say it's too expensive, but I know how much it's costing. Not that I can't afford it, but just in the back
Yeah.
of your head, you know you're idling a 6.7 diesel and your MPG starts going down to like the 10 mile per gallon range. And you're like, that's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Just
I
to
like
burn
that
that kind of
center.
fuel.
I like that center stack.
So, maybe when I'm like just idling just to stay warm and I can go ahead and do a regen at that time if it needs it. Only downside is you have to wait until it needs it.
Mm-hmm.
So how often am I just gonna be like driving driving along and just need to do a regen?
How much since I filled your DEF up has
Did,
it gone down? Do you
did you
remember when
fill
you?
it?
Yeah, remember when you were here and I filled it?
Oh, I remember you gave me some.
Didn't I fill it too? Or no?
I don't know.
Maybe I just gave you cases.
I think it was you gave me
Oh,
cases, but it was
yeah, I'm thinking of Nathan's truck. I'm thinking of the
I
fuel
can't
filter video I did.
I can't show you because it's not gonna let me.
Yeah, yeah.
I have to wait till after. But
That's gonna kick me out.
it used a little bit. It's not a half yet. It's probably a quarter.
These people in these neighborhoods probably like what time is it right now? Almost 11 o'clock. And they're like, what is this guy doing?
Oh man, and he's running the engine.
Yeah, he's revving the engine up.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
You could go drive and go back and just see like what the filter percent is at. See if it starts.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if so what do you think? Okay, so it's better to do the operator command, but what if you're on the highway and you're at about 2000 RPM,
Essentially be doing the same thing.
right? So 2000 RPM ain't bad.
No.
So maybe we should do that. We could jump there and see here. Let me hook this back up.
Roger that, Echo One.
Now this is a little complicated.
I wish I had something to munch on. I'm kind of hungry.
We only been on here for a minute. You hungry already?
Yeah, we ate dinner at like 5 o'clock. It was a while ago.
Oh yeah.
I like my bubbly. You guys like bubbly?
I
I know
had a
some other
little
people
I had a
with
little
that
issue with
LaCroix.
bubbly.
What?
So I've been I've been okay. So that whole time, it's got down to 95%.
Oh, wow.
So I wonder how long that would take.
Probably good 35 minutes, 40 minutes.
So now it should automatically be going down and continuing to clean.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna, once you get into the conditions for it to start regen, it'll probably say clean an exhaust filter.
So last time it did it, it didn't say that. It just started like going down,
Did
and
it?
you could tell something was going on.
I could tell, man.
You could hear.
I
I
could
mean,
tell.
you could smell that smell.
Oh, that smell.
I don't remember if it said it. But no, I was getting like this hungover feeling, and I was drinking way too many bubblies,
What?
and they don't hydrate like water.
I love my
You know what I mean?
bubblies.
I love my bubblies, but I got to make sure I drink enough water as well.
Like my lime, like my
I kind of,
lemon.
yeah, I kind of slipped on my water intake, but I'm still, just trying to do it in moderation. Hopefully, the camera's not too bumpy.
Uh, it is a little bit.
I'd be all right.
When you're stopped, it looks pretty G.
It's a 450. It is what it is. Ride can be a little rough.
I don't even care. I love my 350. I actually met a customer at
You got a
work.
350.
I know that's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said 250.
No, I actually I met a customer at work that has a 19 version of my truck, blue jean, my wheels, and has no Michelins and has BFGs. And I'll tell you what, they looked pretty badass. They did not stick out. I think with my mud flaps, I wouldn't have to be worried about, like rocks getting kicked up. Um, Same tire on a 16 Super Duty I was just doing maintenance on, and that customer said he's gotten 50,000 miles on the set he's got on there. I'm strongly, strongly thinking about getting the BFGs.
I've
However,
I've, I've had them.
however, I don't know if it's gonna increase my ride height because right now I can fit it in here, but I'm talking those back antennas on the back of the cab. I'm talking boop. So I don't have boop to work with. So I don't know if those BFGs are gonna put me over the threshold, but definitely looks sweet. I can't imagine they're cheap. He said he got a warranty with them, so if he, like
Yeah,
tire care.
they're a little bit
Ooh,
on the more expensive side, a little bit, but you can also get
definitely a sweet tire.
you can also get like the a good tire is those Falcon Wild Peak tires are really good. They hook up real good, probably better than those BFGs.
I don't know why my Michelins are feathering so bad. They are, oh my gosh, it drives me crazy. Every day I look at my tires because I can't stand them rocks getting in them. Um, and my boy Anthony in Chicago, I know he's always bitching about his Michelins on his 19. But anyway, it drives me crazy because I can see the feathering. I don't even have to touch it. I can see it. And I mean, I have not checked the alignment since I've gotten it, which I mean, I guess I probably should, but it doesn't pull. I don't I don't have any weird steering things going on. It's just these tires are just wearing like I don't drive like a maniac. Like there's no way that they should be feathering like this. So,
That's weird. I've had so much success
I
from
don't
my
know.
Continentals that came stock on my 250, but it could
Yeah.
be related to how much torque these
I was
engines
just gonna
has,
say that. I know that. It could be that just I'm eating them up.
the torque and the weight.
Cause I know when like I'm turning a corner, like if I'm stopped and I go to accelerate, through a 90-degree turn corner, like you can hear, like if you got the window down, you're not going fast. There's not a lot of wind noise. You can hear like the tires like ripping right off the pavement. Like it hears you hear, and it almost feels like it's tacky. So I mean, I can't say that would not make the tires feather. I know those Continentals are the Continentals are on your 250 compared to my Michelins. I feel the Michelins are more softer than your
Maybe,
Continentals. What do you
maybe.
think?
I've had excellent wear, but like I got 12,000 miles on that truck, and I probably should put new tires on it. Now that's all been it's pretty much been all working miles, and they're still good, but for me working the truck the way I am, it's probably better for me to have more traction because I'm going to get in an icy situation or a deep snow
Yeah,
situation, and like they're not specifically great for those things, but when you have the weight on the truck and all that, they seem to work good in my opinion.
I
You
think
know,
for your first maintenance, you should come and see me. And I think what we should do, not only incorporate, the greasing of our front axle shafts, but rotating, flopping from side to side your front steer tires.
Yeah,
That's what I think we should do.
yeah, that's a good idea for sure.
And I know I
I'm
had to beat my tires off. I don't know if you guys had to beat beat your tires off. I rotated my tires down at Rich's at Limitless Auto Works in PA, where I did my first maintenance. We had to beat the tires off because they were just oxidized around the hub, and it had 4,600 miles, 4,200 miles, 46. I don't know, around there. So that may be a good,
same way with my 19.
yeah. So it may be worthwhile of making just like a kind of like a maintenance little quick video, showing you guys to, hey, get the tire off eventually. However, you got to get it off. Not everybody's going to have a sledgehammer, like a big dead blow rubber mallet, not sledgehammer. But to how to clean the hub of the rotor off, or the hub of whatever the wheel on your truck's going to mount to, and then actually coming around the inside of the wheel, the inside diameter of the wheel, and clean that up either with like a Scotch Brite or one of those little roll lock discs, or I mean,
From
if
what I
it's,
can tell, it looks like it's a issue with dissimilar metals right on the
oh,
hub centric
most definitely.
part, because these are hub centric. So the center hole in the wheel has a machine finish that meshes perfectly with the hub to carry the load. So all the load's not necessarily just on the lug nuts.
What do we got going on up here? I see some party lights.
Cops.
What do we
They're
got?
just they're what are they doing?
Bad boys, bad boys.
It looks like someone's getting arrested.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a matter of the hub centric, the dissimilar metals, and then that aluminum expands once it corrodes a little bit, it tightens up on the hub. So for me, the way I did it is, I tried to hit it whatever with a sledgehammer, but I didn't want to go crazy with that. It's not something I want to hit really, really hard. I don't want to hit my tires really hard on the sidewalls. So I had a little, what was it, like a five pound hammer, I think, and I just kind of hit it lightly, not too crazy. I don't want to miss and hit the rim and crack the rim, or
Mm-hmm.
uh, mess up the tire, the bands, or whatever, have things feel off balance, or have a blowout down the road because I've been smacking this tire as hard as I could. So I just, what I ended up doing is I've got a piece of wood, like a 2x4, and I put it underneath the tire, but only on like the edge. But I had the lug nuts on the truck loosely, not tight, just so that they had no clamping force, but enough so that the
Tire
tire
doesn't
wouldn't
flying
come.
off.
Yeah, they won't fly off and the truck falls on the ground. I just jacked up the truck and just let it down as quick as I could with the jack. Now, obviously, be careful. Don't go down too fast. Somebody's probably going to go like all the way down. My jack doesn't go down that fast anyway. So I let it down, and the wheel was kind of like, the 2x4 was underneath the tire, but it was on the, like not all the way under the tire, like less than halfway. So like the full face of the tire didn't catch the ground, the 2x4. It kind of like would tilt it or tweak it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I see. I can visualize that.
And I lowered it, and it kind of caused the tire to want to be at an angle, if that makes any sense. And it loosened all four, or seized up. And I just went around the truck and did that, and it loosened them all up for me.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, at least you get them off, and you're trying to be as safe as possible. Because I know I've seen some, like how you see them clips on Instagram, and some people be doing some
Well, I've
very
seen some,
questionable.
yeah, I've seen some crazy pictures where people are like putting jack stands on cinder blocks and then on top of a like 5 gallon bucket and working on the car.
I don't think those people should be working on cars.
Yeah.
Yikes! Unbelievable.
But yeah, so I think it's a matter of using some kind of like anti-seize Now it's kind of tough to even talk about this because it's like, what does the manual say? You know what I mean? Like, what is the official Ford language on this? I don't know what it is, but it seems like there should be some kind of anti-seize or grease just on the hub part of the
I
tire, not the
agree.
full face, because I think you still want friction where the tire meets the rotor. You still want static friction at that location.
Where the wheel meets the rotor.
Yeah, where the face of the rim touches the rotor. You don't want that to be lubricated. You want just the hub centric part where the hub touches the rim, the hub centric part, just the center part, to just have a little bit of grease or anti-seize or something like that to prevent it from seizing up. And would that even work? I don't even know. Maybe that won't even work. It might.
Oh,
It might not.
where we pulling
But
into?
I don't know. This is a Asian corned beef. It's a rough parking lot.
Look like it's rough.
Can you tell?
Yeah.
Like I said, man, we in Detroit.
Did you get
I have
wheel and
a
tire care?
no, I didn't.
Don't be picking up any nails. Did anybody else in the purchase of their new truck, did you guys get wheel and tire care? I messed up, and of all people, I thought you could add wheel and tire care, and apparently you could not. It has to be purchased when you buy the vehicle. So I was kind of womp womp womp. But I don't like the Michelins anyway, so
Exactly. So you don't want to have it
it is what it
because
is.
it locks you into your tires. Like, what if you want new tires?
Yeah, I'd have to get that tire.
So yeah, it's not. To me,
Whatever. I mean,
if I get something in my tire, I'm not going right to the dealer. So I'll probably I rather have the option to go anywhere to get it fixed versus going to a dealer. I bet they can't even fix 19.5 commercial tires at every dealer.
yeah,
The mounting is different.
yeah, big boy machine.
Yeah, I used to mount these tires by hand when I was like 22, 23. I used to mount commercial tires by hand.
Dang.
And you have to know your stuff. You can't just go anywhere. You got to go to a commercial tire place.
Don't want to be
And
scratching up that rim. And a lot
the
of them
repair
bouncers.
the repairs are different. They don't condone plugging these tires. You gotta
Yeah.
they run too much psi, or the way it's designed, or for whatever reason you don't really plug these tires. You can plug them from the inside out with the donkey dick.
You should do a video on how to fill those tires up in that little placard that's on the door jamb, and it tells you how many feet does it tell you to stay away?
Something crazy.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't know.
actually
Far.
I've never seen it before. There's a sticker. I think I took a picture of it. I'll try to put it up right now.
Is it just my truck because of commercial tires? It's not like your truck either.
No, it is for 450, and it was on the driver's door jamb on the scuff plate, like where it would say Super
Yeah,
Duty, like on
it
mine.
tells you to stay like 12 feet away.
Yeah, like
What's funny,
no way.
dude? I never followed those rules. Like when I was working on the commercial tires,
Me
I
either.
wasn't trained. I wasn't trained in those rules, and I used to just do tires all day. So one time, a boulder got lodged between a semi truck tractor trailer's tire, and it got stuck in there. And both these big 22 point, I think, what is it, 22.5
Mhm.
inch rim tire, like the big boy tires.
Oh yeah.
There was a boulder lodged in between, and they're like, well, let's let the air out, let's get the boulder out, and then let's fill the tires back up and get back on the road. And that's what we did. But the inside tire from the boulder being stuck in there was compromised, and we didn't know, but we were just trying to like get back on the road. So I'm filling this tire up. I'm like crouched down. You got to reach in there and plug in the chuck and get it up
Mhm.
to 120, and or was it? I forget if it was 120 or like 110, something crazy. And I'm filling it up, and all of a sudden this tire explodes right in my face.
What? No way.
Man, when I tell you I got knocked out, but just from the shock, and I woke up laying on my back in the same position that I was in when I was filling up the tire.
No
I,
way.
I rolled onto my back and was blacked out, totally blacked out. And then I was still like my body was still crouched, like my legs were still in the crouch position, but I was laying on my back. I'm holding the air chuck steel into the tire,
That
but
happened to my
like the
boy at work too.
but I'm laying on my back though, and I'm just like, what happened? And
What happened? What
my
happened?
whole body felt like it got hit with a shockwave. Like
Oh,
my
yeah.
my skin was tingling. My whole body, the skin of my whole body was tingling like I got hit with a bomb, like a
You
shockwave.
damn right it
But
was a shockwave.
I was fine. Like I don't know, but there was times where those tires would explode. Like one time we were putting air in one, and the safety measures we had, like I think like OSHA would want you to put the tire in a cage, like a safety cage.
Oh,
So if it blows
probably.
up, it gets caught in the cage. No, we use another rim. Like you would put a rim on the ground, and then you would put the tire up on the rim. So if the tire explodes, the tire won't move because it's on the rim. So
Mm.
it's far enough from the ground. It will move a little, but it's not like if it was on the ground, it might like fly in the air.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So one time one of
Yeah.
the tires blew while we were filling it up. And we would put it, I think we knew to get away from the tire, but we would put the air chuck on it and it would stay on it. And then you walk away a little bit.
What?
One time one of them blew up and
Uh-uh.
it was so loud and it was so big that it knocked all the dead birds from the top of the rafters of the shop. And
What, dude?
the shop was huge. The shop was like your Bill Brown shop, but the ceilings were a
That
little bit
is
higher.
so
Yeah,
funny.
it knocked a bunch of dead birds from the top rafters. I'm like it was insane, dude. Like working there, doing those 22.5. Now a 19.5 might be like hard for me to change, and then it's got the aluminum wheels, which would be hard as well, not the damage.
Yeah, you'd be
But
screwing them things up.
I did those boys by hand, like all hand tools, no machine.
And
Like no. It was all 10-pound sledge. But I knew the techniques to not mess up aluminum wheels because there were like some semis had the aluminum steers.
working for your money. Working for your money.
Oh, he
Man,
just ran that light.
that dude just
You
blew
see,
a red light.
he just blew it like it wasn't it wasn't even there.
I
Yeah,
got
man.
you on camera.
Working for your money is right because I used to get $12 an hour for that. It was pretty. I'm
Mm-mm,
like, I remember asking for a raise, and the guy's like,
mm-mm.
"No, man, you can't get no raise."
Nah, man. Nah.
I'm like, "Dude, I'm doing semi truck tires by hand. Big, big. The boys were so heavy you couldn't even pick them up. You had to like roll them over.
Roll him over.
Stuff was tough, man.
I wonder what Mr. Matt's doing. He had some plans this evening. I think I think I'm going to start dipping into the list I have of gentlemen who are in queue who want to get on the podcast and talk about their trucks with DS, myself, Matt, and we're gonna have, kind of like a little party, little shindig, a uh, social distancing Zoom podcast here for the channel, and I'd love to get you guys on. Make sure to drop me an email. I'll put that up right now. I'll put a link to DS Trucks. You guys can reach out to him and find out what he's doing to his 450 and keep up to date with his Facebook and Instagram. Um, any questions for the either of us? Again, make sure to visit the comment section. I think Matt would be pleased. Myself, DS Trucks. Anything to add for tonight?
I think it'd be,
Podcast number 2.
I think it'd be cool to get Tyson from Workplay on here.
I think Workplay is going to be coming very soon from the Great White North. Freaking A rights, bud.
Yeah,
Hell
that'd be
yeah.
cool.
All right, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to tune in next time for podcast number 3, the Powerstroke Tech Talk with A-Rod. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys.
All right, later.